Good day, everyone. We are now on the second topic in pre-calculus, which is all about a circle. I know you are all familiar with circle because there are lots of circular objects inside your house, or even you go outside your house. Let us now explore about a circle. Let's have first the first activity. Now, we're going to assess what you already know about a circle because when you were in grade 10, you learned about circle, the standard form of the equation of the circle, and the different types or parts of a circle. So can you please get a piece of paper and we're going to check or assess what you already know about a circle. So the name of our activity is follow the instructions. First, draw a circle. Now, you can draw a circle, even a perfect circle or not, it's okay. Okay, let's now have the second one. Name the circle as circle A. I know you're all done. Let's now have the third instruction. Draw a radius with segment AB. Again, draw a radius with segment AB. Okay, I know you're all done. Let's now have the fourth one. Draw a diameter with segment CD. Draw a diameter with segment CD. And then, let's have the fifth one. Draw a tangent line tangent to point B. I know you're familiar with tangent line, and make sure that the tangent line has the point of tangency at point B. Now let's check your answer. Okay, can you please get a ball pen and then let's check your answer. So the first instruction is draw a circle. So this is a circle. I know no one can get a wrong answer with this first instruction because you already know what is a circle. Now, let us now have the second instruction. The second instruction is um, make a point or a center. Name that circle as circle A. So, meaning, since you're going to name this circle as circle A, make sure that the center has a point A. That's the reason why I have point on the middle and then I name that as point A because we can name a circle based on their center. Now, next is draw a radius with segment AB. So just always remember, we can now have a radius from the center up to any point on the circle. That's the reason why we can draw a segment AB from this point. It can also be here. It is also possible. Okay, so wait a minute. I'm going to erase first this one. Okay, so Let us now have the third one. Draw a diameter with segment CD. Just always remember, once you said diameter, it is segment lying the center. Or what we call the diameter is a segment that intersects the center. That's the reason why you can draw a diameter not in this way only. You can draw a diameter from this point, and then you're going to draw a diameter, a line that passes through the center, which is point A. So you can now have right here C, and then D, and then draw the line. And it is also possible. So therefore, there are lots of ways on how are you going to illustrate diameter this diameter segment CD. Okay? So now for the third question, or the PEEP instruction is draw a tangent line with the point of tangency at point D. So since this is the point D, therefore you're going to draw a tangent line in this intersecting this point B. Just always remember, once it's a tangent line, it is a line that intersects on the circle. It means on the circle, it doesn't intersect inside the circle, just only on the circle. Okay, so comment down below your score in our first activity. So you can now write activity 1, you get 5, 4. So use the comment section and then comment your score in our first activity. Next, let's answer this guide question. The first one is, how are you going to define a radius? So I know you already know what is a radius. So a radius is, okay, very good. So that is a segment from the center up to any point on the circle. Again, once I said radius, it is a segment from the center to any point on the circle. And then for the second question, what is the relationship of radius to the diameter? Okay, so as you can see in our illustration, radius is half of the diameter. So therefore, if our radius is equal to, or if our diameter is equal to 12 centimeter, it means that our radius is equal to 6 centimeter because radius is just half of the diameter. Next is, what is the relationship of tangent line to the radius of the circle? I hope that you already know this one because when you were in grade 10, you already learned this topic. Okay, so the relationship of tangent line to the radius of the circle is tangent line is perpendicular to the radius of the circle. It means that it forms 90 degrees or a right angle. So now, let's discuss about a circle. So for the objectives for today's discussion, I hope that you can find the radius and the center of the general form and standard form of the equation of the circle, transform standard to general form of the equation of a circle and vice versa, and graph a circle in a rectangular coordinate system. What is a circle? A circle is the locus of all points in the plane having the same fixed positive distance called the radius from a fixed point called the center. Just take note of the word fixed positive distance called the radius. It implies if the radius is equal to a negative, therefore we cannot form a circle. Okay. The equation of a circle in standard form can be quantity x minus h squared plus the quantity y minus k squared equals r squared, where h and k is what we call the center of the circle. Just take note of this one. R is greater than 0. It implies if r is equal to 0, it is not a circle. Or if r is equal to a negative value, therefore it is also not a circle. Okay, because if r is equal to 0, we can form a point. Now, for general form of the equation of the circle, we have ax squared plus ay squared plus cx plus dy plus e equals 0, where a is not equal to 0. Or we can say that x squared plus y squared plus cx plus dy plus e equals 0. So we can now say that a general form of the given equation is a circle if the numerical coefficient of x squared and the numerical coefficient of y squared is equal. Okay, let's have an example. Give the standard equation of the circle satisfying the given conditions and graph the circle. Okay, the first item is center at the origin and radius 4. So once you said center at the origin, it implies that the center is located at 0, 0. And our radius, r, is equal to 4. The first thing that you're going to do, you're going to write first the standard form of the equation of a circle, quantity x minus h squared plus quantity y minus k squared is equal to r squared. Now, by substitution property, we have h which is equal to 0 because center is at 0, 0. Therefore, h is equal to 0 and k is equal to 0. So, therefore, we can have quantity x minus 0 squared plus the quantity y minus 0 squared is equal to r. Your r is equal to 4. So, we have 4 squared. Now, we can have simplifying this one, x minus 0 is equal to x. So, therefore, we can have x squared plus y squared is equal to 4 squared, which is equal to 16. So therefore, the standard form of the equation of the circle is equal to x squared plus y squared is equal to 16. Let us now have the next example. Okay, but before that, let us first graph x squared plus y squared equals to 16. So the first thing that you're going to do, you're going to draw a rectangular Cartesian plane. Now, since the center is at 0, 0, and radius is equal to 4, we're going to start plotting the center, which is equal to 0, 0. So here, we have the center 0, 0. And then from that, you're going to count 4 units upward, 4 units downward, 4 units to the right, and 4 units to the left of the center. Since this is the center, we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's the reason why we have here. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have here. Then for this one, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. And then for this one, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So now after having that, you're now going to connect all the points forming a circle. So from that, we can now graph the circle given its standard form of the equation of a circle. Okay, so let us now have the next example. Center is at negative 4, 3, and radius square root of 7. So again, the first thing that you're going to do is to write the standard form of the equation of a circle, quantity x minus h squared plus the quantity y minus k squared is equal to r squared. So from that, we're going to substitute. So from the center, we have h is equal to negative 4 and k which is equal to 3. So with that, we're going to substitute quantity x minus, instead of writing h, we're going to write negative 4 squared plus y minus 3 squared is equal to r. Your r is equal to square root of 7. So therefore, we're going to write or substitute square root of 7 squared. Now we're going to simplify negative times negative, which is equal to positive. So therefore, we have x plus 4 quantity squared plus y minus 3 quantity squared is equal to the square root of 7 quantity squared. So to simplify this, just always remember, if we have this example, we're going to cancel squared and the square root. Therefore, we can have 7. So therefore, the standard form of the equation of the circle is quantity x plus 4 squared plus quantity y minus 3 squared is equal to 7. Let us now graph this standard form of the equation of the circle. So we're going to start drawing a circle. So from that, we're going to plot first the center negative 4, 3. So negative 4, this is negative 4 on the x-axis, and this is 3. This is negative 4. So therefore, we're going to plot the center negative 4, 3. After that, we're going to have the radius. The radius is equal to square root of 7. So simplifying square root of 7 using your calculator, square root of 7 is approximately equal to 2.65. So therefore, you're going to count 2.65 upward, downward, left, and right of from the center of the circle. So that's the reason why I'm going to count from this center. I'm going to count 2.65 upward, downward, left, and right of this center. From that, we can now form a circle. So this is the graph of quantity x plus 4 squared plus quantity y minus 3 squared is equal to 7. Next, center at 5, negative 6, tangent to the y-axis. So again, let's now write the standard form of the equation of a circle, quantity x minus h squared plus the quantity y minus k squared is equal to r squared. By substitution property, we can get the h and the value of k. Our h is equal to 5, so therefore we have x minus 5 squared plus y minus, instead of writing k, we're going to write negative 6 is equal to r. We don't have r, but this is the technique. If it is tangent to the y-axis, we're going to use we will just simply use the value of h. If it is tangent to x-axis, we will be using the value of k. Again, I'm going to repeat. If you are asked for tangent to y-axis, we will just simply use the value of h. And if it is tangent to x-axis, we will be using the value of k. Since this is tangent to y-axis, we will be using the value of h, which is equal to 5. So therefore, r is equal to 5. So by substitution property, we have 5 squared. Now simplifying, we have quantity x minus 5 squared plus quantity y. Since we're going to simplify negative times negative here, we're going to have plus 6 squared is equal to 5 squared, which is equal to 25. So therefore, we have the standard form of the equation of the circle, which is equal to quantity x minus 5 squared plus y plus 6 squared is equal to 25. Let us now draw this or graph this circle. Okay, let us now have the Cartesian plane. From that, we're going to plot the center at 5, negative 6, and then the radius, which is equal to 5. So this is the center, 5, negative 6. And then you're going to count 5 units upward, 5 units downward, 5 units to the left, and 5 units to the right of the center. So that's the reason why we have this one, r is equal to 5. And then from that, you're going to connect all the points to form a circle. So from that, we can now graph a circle. How about this one? It has diameter with endpoints A, negative 1, 3, and B, 9, 1. So from this one, we don't have the center, we don't have the radius. So from this one, the first thing that we need to do is to find the measurement of the diameter. To find the measurement of the diameter, we're going to use the distance formula. Just always remember, the distance formula is discussed when you were in grade 10, that d is equal to the square root of the quantity y sub 2 minus y sub 1 squared plus the quantity x sub 2 minus x sub 1 squared. Now, after knowing the diameter, we're going to find the radius. So now, to find the radius, we need to know the center or the midpoint of A and B. to know the midpoint of A and B, we're going to use the midpoint formula. Again, you discussed this or you learned this topic when you were in grade 10. So the formula is the x sub 1 plus x sub 2 divided by 2 and y sub 1 plus y sub 2 all over 2. So let us now answer this one. So let's start with the distance formula. So first, we're going to write d is equal to the square root of y sub 2 minus y sub 1 squared plus x sub 2 minus x sub 1 squared. Now we're going to substitute the value of x sub 1, x sub 2, y sub 1, and y sub 2. So let's write. So according to our given, A is located at negative 1, 3, and B, 9, 1. So therefore, we can check that x sub 1 is equal to negative 1, y sub 1 is equal to 3, x sub 2 is equal to 9, and y sub 2 is equal to 1. So by substitution property, instead of writing y sub 2, we're going to write 1. Instead of writing y sub 1, we're going to write 3. And then, instead of writing x sub 2, we're going to write 9. Instead of writing x sub 1, we're going to write negative 1. So we just simply substitute all the given values to the given formula. Now let's simplify. So we have 1 minus 3 is equal to negative 2, and 9 minus negative 1, since we have double negation here, or negative times negative, it will be positive. So 9 plus 1 is equal to 10. Now, let's simplify the squared. So negative 2 squared is equal to 4, and 10 squared is equal to 100. So from that, 4 plus 100 is equal to square root of 104. Therefore, we can say that the distance or the measurement of the diameter is equal to square root of 104 or 2 square root of 26. How did we get this one? Just always remember when you were in grade 9, we can simplify the radical by factoring this one. We're going to think of a perfect square that is divisible by 104. So therefore, it will be 4 times 26 because 4 is a perfect square. So from that, we divide 104 divided by 4 is 26. That's the reason why the factor of 104 is 4 times 26. From that, we get the square root of 4, and the square root of 4 is 2. That's the reason why, since we simplify square root of 4, napunta na po siya sa labas. That's the reason why it will be 2. And then, since hindi naman perfect square ang 26, mare-retain po siya sa loob. That's the reason why, to simplify square root of 104, it is 2 square root of 26. Okay. So from that, since the diameter measures 2 square root of 26, therefore, radius measures square root of 26. Because radius is half of the diameter. Again, radius is half of the diameter. Since the diameter measures 2 square root of 26, dividing this by 2, we can have square root of 26. Now, we already have the value of the radius. Now, the next thing that we need to do is to find the center. To find the center, we need to use the midpoint formula. So this is the formula for midpoint. Again, we already know the value of x sub 2, x sub 1, and y sub 2, y sub 1. So by substitution property, it will be 9 plus negative 1 all over 2 and 1 plus 3 all over 2. 9 plus negative 1 is equal to 8 and 1 plus 3 is equal to 4. So simplifying 8 divided by 2, we can have 4, and simplifying 4 divided by 2, we have 2. Therefore, the center is located at 4, 2. So from that, we can have center. So let's write first the center at 4, 2 and radius, which is equal to square root of 26. So by substituting these values to the given standard form, the equation of a circle, we can have quantity x minus 4 squared plus the quantity y minus 2 squared is equal to the quantity square root of 26 squared. Just always remember, h is this one, is equal to 4, k is equal to 2. From this, we're going to simplify this one, square root of 26 quantity squared. Just always remember, if we simplify this one, we cancel squared and square root. So that's the reason why the final answer is quantity x minus 4 squared plus the quantity y minus 2 squared equals 26. Let us now proceed with determine the standard form of the equation of a circle given the general form. Okay, this is the given x squared plus y squared minus 6x minus 7 equals to 0. So this is in general form of the equation of a circle. So to determine the standard form of the equation of the circle, we're going to combine like terms. So we're going to combine x squared minus 6x, and then we have plus y squared, and the negative 7 will be transposed to the other side. Or by additive property, we're going to add 7 on both sides. That's the reason why we can have x squared minus 6x plus y squared equals 7. Okay? So since it is negative 7, it will be positive 7, the other side. Now, after that, we're going to use the completing the squares. So for this one, x squared minus 6x, we're going to do completing the squares. So to find this one, so to have a perfect square trinomial of x squared minus 6x, we're going to add 9 on both sides. So we're going to add 9 here. How did we get 9? So we get 9 by this one. So 6 is our middle term. So it's just simply p divided by 2 squared. So our b is 6. So 6 divided by 2 is equal to 3. So if we're going to get the square root of 3, we can get 9. So that's the reason why we add 9 on both sides. Now, we're going to factor this one. So we're going to factor x squared minus 6x plus 9. To factor this one, we get the square root of x squared. And the square root of x squared is x. And then from that one, we get the square root of 9, which is 3. And then copy the middle term, which is negative. Again, if we're going to factor a perfect square trinomial, we're just simply getting the square root of the first term, x squared, which is equal to x, and then getting the square root of the last term, which is square root of 9, which is equal to 3, and copying the sign of the middle term, which is negative. And then from that, we're going to bring down y squared, and then 7 plus 9 is 16. So from this, we can now get the value of c, or the center, and the value of the radius. So therefore, the center is located at 3, 0, because here, h is equal to 3 and our k is equal to 0. So to find the radius, we just simply get the square root of this one. So the square root of 16 is equal to 4. So that's the reason why the center is located at 3, 0 and r is equal to 4. Then let's now have the next example. We have x squared plus y squared minus 4x plus 10y plus 23 equals to 0. Now let's combine like terms. So the first thing that we're going to do, combining like terms, so we can combine x squared minus 4x. We're going to combine y squared plus 10y, and then we're going to transpose 23 to the other side. So positive 23 will become negative 23. Okay, so this is what will happen on the first step, combining the like terms, x squared minus 4x, y squared plus 10y, and positive 23 will be transposed to the other side. Now, to form a perfect square trinomial, using the completing the squares, we're going to add 4 for this part. We're going to add 25 for this part. And then, we're going to add 4 and 25 to the other side. So, kung ano yung inad natin dito sa side na to, we're going to add this also sa kabilang side. But how did we get 4? Again, we use b over 2 quantity squared. Our b is negative 4 or 4. So 4 divided by 2 is equal to 2. And then getting the square root of 2, the answer is equal to 4. For this part, our b is equal to 10. 10 divided by 2 is equal to 5. Squaring 5, that is equal to 25. Now, let's now factor this one. So using the factoring the perfect square trinomial, We just simply, again, get the square root of the first term, which is x, square root of the last term, which is equal to 2, and then use the sign of the middle term, which is negative. That's the reason why it is quantity x minus 2 squared. Don't forget the squared because we are factoring this one. Next is getting the square root of y squared, we have y. Getting the square root of 25, we have 5. And then copying the sign of the middle term, which is positive. So from that, we have y, quantity y plus 5 squared, and then is equal to negative 23 plus 4 plus 25 is equal to 6. So therefore, this is our standard form of the equation of a circle. X minus 2 quantity squared plus y plus 5 quantity squared is equal to 6. Now therefore, the center is equal to 2, negative 5, and r is equal to square root of 6. How did we get this one? Again, we just simply get the negation of this one. Since here we have negative 2, negating negative 2 will be positive 2. Now here, we have positive 5. Negating positive 5 will become negative 5. Or remember that our standard form is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. That's the reason why, since it follows negative here, so we just simply copy h is equal to 2. Since this is positive, it will become negative, negative 5. That's the reason why it will be k equals negative 5. So for r, we have square root of 6. Why? Because we need to get, remember, don't forget this one. We need to get first the square root of this one, r squared, to find the value of r. Since r squared is equal to 6, getting the square root, we have square root of 6. Okay. So let us now have this example. X squared plus y squared minus 10x plus 6y plus 34 equals to 0. Okay, let's combine the like terms. We have x squared minus 10x because they have the same x or variable. And then we have y squared plus 6y because they have the same variable, which is y. And then we need to transpose 34 to the other side. Next, again, we're going to have a perfect square trinomial by doing the completing the square. So we have this one. We add 25 and 9 in this side. So therefore, we also add 25 and 9 to the other side. But how did we get 25 here? So we get 25 here because we use, again, b over 2 squared. Our b is 10. So 10 divided by 2 is equal to 5. 5 squared is equal to 25. Next, for this one, we have b equals 6. So 6 divided by 2 is 3. 3 squared is equal to 9. Now, to factor this one using a perfect square trinomial, we're going to get the square root of x squared, which is equal to x, square root of 25, which is equal to 5, and then copy the sign of the middle term, which is equal to negative. Next, on this part, get the square root of y squared, which is equal to y, get the square root of 9, which is equal to 3, and then copy the sign which is positive of the middle term, which is positive. Therefore, we have quantity x minus 5 squared plus y plus 3 squared equals, so negative 34 plus 25 plus 9 is equal to 0. Since the result here is 0, again, r squared is equal to 0. Therefore, r is equal to 0. It implies that we don't have radius. So it means that since r is equal to 0, therefore it is not a circle. Okay? Not a circle. So you just simply write, not a circle. Okay? Let us now have this one. How about if we have the standard, which we have this condition, center negative 1, 2, and radius square root of 3. So again, the first thing that you're going to do, transform this first into standard form of the equation of a circle. So we have x, so write first the standard form of the equation of a circle, x minus h squared plus y minus k squared is equal to r squared. Since h is equal to -1 and k is equal to 2 and r equals square root of 3, by substitution property, we will be having this one. X minus the quantity -1 squared plus the quantity y minus 2 squared is equal to the quantity square root of 3 squared. Simplifying this one, negative times negative, we have positive. So we have x plus 1 quantity squared plus y minus 2 squared. We just simply bring down this one. And then we're going to have simplify square root of 3 quantity squared. Again, I just discussed this. We're going to cancel squared and the square root. That's the reason why we have 3. Okay, so we have now the standard form of the equation of a circle. From this, we're going to expand this one so that we can get its general form, the equation of a circle. So how? First, we're going to use the square of a binomial. So we're going to get the square root of x, which is x squared. We're going to get the square root of 1. 1 times 1 is 1. Now, to find the middle term, we just simply multiply 1 times x times 2. Again, to find the middle term, we multiply the first term to the second term multiplied by 2. So x times 1 is equal to x times 2. We have 2x. It's just simply 2 times x times 1. That's the reason why we have 2x. Let's try on this one. Y minus 2 quantity squared. To simplify this, you can use the FOIL method, other method, okay? Algebra tiles, but this is just only a technique for special product, which is square of a binomial. So again, to simplify this, get the square root of y. Y times y is y squared. 2 times 2 is 2 squared. Now, to find the middle term, we have 2 times the first term y times the second term 2. So 2 times y is 2y times 2 is 4y. That's the reason why we have 4y. And then we're going to copy the sign of the middle term, which is negative. Now from this one, we're going to transpose 3 to the other side. So from positive, it will become -3. Now, the next step is combining like terms. So since we don't have x squared here in this equation, so we're just simply copy x squared plus y squared. We just simply copy x squared, y squared. We just also copy 2x and -4y because wala silang kaparehas. Okay? Ngayon, if we're going to take a look on this one. There are three constant terms. We have 1 plus 4 minus 3. So we can simplify that one. 1 plus 4 is 5. Minus 3 is equal to 2. That's the reason why it becomes 2. So from that one, we can get the general form of the equation of the circle x squared plus y squared plus 2x minus 4y plus 2 equals to 0. Okay. Let us now check your understanding. Okay, can you please get a piece of paper and then we're going to answer this activity. Let's have the first one. Center 6, -5 and radius 11. Find the standard form of the equation of a circle. Again, find the standard form of the equation of a circle. Go. Okay, I know you're all done, so stop. Let us now check your answer. And then the answer is x quantity x minus 6 squared plus quantity y plus 5 squared is equal to 121. So this is the solution. Just take a look at the solution and this is the final answer. Please check your answer. Okay? Next, let's proceed with the next example. Center at 5, 7, tangent to the x-axis. Go. Okay, just always remember if it is tangent to the x-axis, we just simply use the value of k. And if it is tangent to the y-axis, just only use the value of h. Since it is tangent to the x-axis, use the value of k for radius. Okay, stop. Let's check your answer. So this is the solution. Copy the standard form of the equation of a circle, and then substitute the value of the center, which is 5, 7, and the radius, which is equal to 7. Again, since this is tangent to x-axis, the value of the radius is 7. We copy the value of k. And then from that, we have the quantity x minus 5 squared plus the quantity y minus 7 squared equals 49. So please check your answer for number 2. Let's have number 3. Let us now have the next example. X squared plus y squared minus 6x minus 2y plus 6 is equal to 0. So in this example, you're going to transform the general form of the equation of the circle to the standard form of the equation of the circle and identify the center and the radius. So you will be given the time. Go. Okay, remember that you need to start first combining the like terms x and y and then transpose the constant term to the other side. From that, you're going to make a perfect square trinomial using the completing the square. And then from that, the next one is, or the last part is the factory. Okay, stop. Let us now answer this one. So the first thing that you're going to do is to combine like terms. So we have x squared minus 6x plus y squared minus 2y is equal to, transposing 6 to the other side, we have negative 6. Now we're going to have x squared minus 6x plus, we need to know what are we going to add here in this part. So using b over 2 squared, our b is 6. 6 divided by 2 is 3. Squaring that 3, we have 9. Plus, we have y squared minus 2y. Our b is 2. So 2 divided by 2 is 1. 1 squared is 1. So we have plus 1 is equal to, bring down negative 6. And then since we add 9 and 1 here, we have plus 10. Now, what are we going to do? Let's factor this one. So the factored form of x squared minus 6x plus 9, since this is a perfect square trinomial, we have x minus 3 quantity squared. How did we get this? We get the square root of x squared, which is x, get the square root of 9, which is 3, and we copy the sign of the middle term, which is negative. That's the reason why we have quantity x minus 3 squared plus, here the square root of y squared is y, the square root of 1 is 1, copying the sign of the middle term, which is negative, and then put squared. So we have quantity y minus 1 squared is equal to negative 6 plus 10, which is equal to 4. Now, we can now get the value of the center. Since it follows x minus h, therefore, h is equal to positive 3. And then since it follows y minus k squared, so therefore the value of k is equal to 1. So the value of r is equal to, it's not 4. Just always remember this is not equal to 4. We need to get the square root of 4 first because it follows the standard form x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. So therefore r squared is equal to 4. Getting the square root of both sides, we can get the value of r, which is equal to 2. So we have center at 3, 1, and radius is equal to 2. So please comment down below your score for this activity. Just write activity 2 and your score for this activity 2. It is better if you're going to assess yourself and then check kung ano na yung nalaman mo during our discussion proper. So with that, I just want to end this discussion with this quotation that life is a circle of happiness, sadness, hard times, and good times. If you're going through hard times, have faith that good times are on the way. So, like in this moment, current situation, we experience yung sobrang hirap kasi may COVID-19, may pandemic, sobrang daming problema at pagsubok. Kapag dumating tayo sa point in time na napakadaming pagsubok sa buhay natin, lalong-lalo na sa panahong ito, huwag tayong mawawalan ng pag-asa because life is a circle. What are we going to do is what? Have faith with God. Because with God, everything is impossible, even the impossible one. With that, thank you and God bless everyone. Happy math learning. So please don't forget to subscribe on our channel and hit the notification bell button so that you're going to be updated with our video tutorials. Thank you and God bless everyone.